Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining in. This is a topic I'm very passionate about. How to spot a non-guru guru. So, the spiritual world, and sadly enough, the spiritual marketplace is inundated with people who appear to be gurus and people who have a bunch of followers who say, oh, he's a guru, or even worse, he's a sat guru, which is a term reserved for like the highest of highest teachers. Like a Satguru is a being who can just look at someone and know everything about them, all of their past lives, every thought they've ever thought. It's, yeah, to call someone a Satguru is, and there's Satgurus all over the place, or alleged Satgurus. And I would argue that as soon as you hear the word Satguru, assume that it's like not an actual Satguru. But that's maybe another video. What is a Satguru? So a non-guru guru. So a guru is a being who is completely liberated, no ego left. And they're a being to whom you can entrust your soul. Why? Because all that's left in them is purity. It's a very rare thing. It's a very rare thing. Most of the teachers out there are what I call spiritual teachers. They're beings who have had a profound awakening, but they're not quite done. They're still a work in progress. And so there's some very simple ways that you can spot someone who you might think is a guru, but actually isn't. So first and foremost, they have the same teaching for everyone, a non-guru guru. They're not able to meet the individual where they are. So there are various paths and various ways to complete liberation. And someone who's not a true guru will be fixated on one, because that's the way that they found awakeness, and they're unable to guide anyone else on any other path. Now, this is very rampant today in the Advaita Vedanta, or the non-dual world, and it's really easy to spot. So the way to spot someone who's not a guru is this: they'll prescribe self-inquiry to everyone, which is completely wrong. Completely wrong. You know, the founder of Advaita Vedanta, Shankara, made it very clear that self-inquiry requires very strenuous and rigorous preparation. And even Ramana Maharshi, who's sort of the, if it wasn't for Ramana Maharshi, we wouldn't have all these, non-guru gurus running around, but it's not his fault. But, Ramana Maharshi said, only the person who has a primarily sattvic mind, a peaceful mind, only the person who has no interest in anything pertaining to the world, only the most mature and ripe spiritual person, spiritual aspirant is ready for self-inquiry, and only someone who has attained one-pointedness of mind. How to know if you're ready for self-inquiry? You walk around all day long with a sense of focus and presence. That's one-pointedness of mind. And most of the teachers out there are not teaching any of the preparatory practices and are teaching self-inquiry for everyone. It's the ultimate path. It's the fast path. Well, actually, it isn't it is the fast path for those who are ready. For those who are not ready, it's the slow path. It's the don't ever wake up path. It's a bummer. It's a bummer because, it can be very tricky because a lot of these teachers have a very clear intellectual understanding of the ultimate truth, but they're not able to skillfully lead others there. And many of these teachers have a profound capacity to radiate what's called Shaktipat, which is a technical term, which literally just means the energy that wakes one, that can awaken one. So it can be very, and many of these alleged gurus, wear robes or wear malas or do all these things that we think of as are spiritual and actually have nothing to do with spirituality, but that's another story. So you've got these teachers who've had an awakening experience, who have a very solid intellectual understanding of the teachings that radiate peace and love. And in their presence, you literally have a spiritual experience just by hanging out with them. And then they've got all the traipsings, like they've got the robes and the malas, and they talk the spiritual talk, and but they're not they have no capacity to lead people to the awakening they've experienced. Why? Because their awakening's incomplete. They're still a work in progress, and a lot of them don't realize it. Because why can't they lead other people to awakening? Because they're still stuck in illusion. They think they're fully awake and they're not. It's, oh my gosh. But the signs are very, very easy to spot, and I've just listed them. And then, the thing that makes this even more complicated is these not fully awake teachers can actually lead someone who is ripe, someone who is ready to awaken. These teachers can, say the right thing, and someone can wake up. But it's not because they're a good teacher. It's because the student was ripe and ready. A true guru has no interest in anything that isn't eternal. There's not going to be any weirdness around money, any weirdness around sex, any weirdness about trying to control the behavior. They're not going to be obsessed with, they're going to have little to no interest in organization. That's a little bit of a tricky one. They're not going to have any attachment. So, welcome to the illusion. And sadly, most of the teachers that we're looking to lead us out of the illusion are still stuck in it themselves. A true teacher is a very rare thing. Ramana Maharshi was one such teacher. It's very, very rare. And so we just have to be careful. That's not that we can't learn and grow, but to approach these teachers with a sense of surrender. It doesn't work because most of these teachers aren't themselves fully surrendered. They're not worthy of someone's surrender. So good luck, my friends. I wish you much discernment. And it's really, it's just so easy in the non-duality thing to spot a not fully awake teacher. They're just going to push self-inquiry, and they're just going to, well, who wants to know that? And you are the self. How can you have any problems? It's going to be a little robotic and mechanical, and it'll be the same thing with everybody. Whereas a true teacher meets each person where they're at and takes them to where we're all going. Good luck, friends. Salvation of everyone and everything is inevitable. And it's just a bummer to waste time with non-guru gurus. Much love.